3 tons of poison, $400 million, one submarine vanishing into the darkness of the Gulf of Mexico, and a single question that would change everything. Could the United States stop it before it reached American shores? What happened on October 11, 2025, wasn't just a drug bust. It was a glimpse into a war most Americans don't even know is being fought. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will shake everything you thought you knew about what's happening in our waters right now. Hit subscribe, drop a comment with your thoughts, and let's dive into the story they don't want you to hear. The Invisible Enemy, 2:12 a.m., October 11th, 2025. Picture this, 40 nautical miles south of Pensacola, Florida, the Gulf of Mexico stretches out like black glass under a moonless sky. Most Americans are asleep, but deep inside the Coast Guard's Area Mobility Command Center, someone's staring at a screen that just changed everything. A single blip, moving slowly, 6 knots, half submerged, no identification beacon, no radio contact, just a ghost crawling through American waters. The operator leans closer. This isn't right. Ships don't move like that. Vessels don't hide like that, unless they're carrying something they don't want anyone to find. Within minutes, a Navy P-8A Poseidon aircraft confirms what everyone's thinking but nobody wants to say out loud. Irregular metallic outline, low heat signature, and a shape that doesn't belong anywhere near U.S. shores. By 2:25 a.m., Naval Station Pensacola erupts into controlled chaos. Intelligence analysts pull up satellite data, cross-reference known cartel patterns, and suddenly the room goes silent. Because what they're looking at isn't just a boat, it's a narco submarine. 35 feet of criminal engineering built by the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, one of the most ruthless drug trafficking organizations on the planet. And inside, over 3 tons of methamphetamine and cocaine worth nearly $400 million on American streets. That's enough poison to devastate an entire state. Enough money to fund armies, corrupt governments, and destroy countless lives. The radar shows something else too. Every few seconds, the blip vanishes, then reappears. This thing is diving, surfacing, playing a deadly game of hide-and-seek with the world's most powerful navy. At 2:40 a.m., Commander Rachel Decker makes the call that will define the next few hours.
Start shadow tracking.
The hunt begins. My purdy would sustain the might. 3 tron star enderdium. 2 warships slide through the darkness. The patrol boat USCGC Hamilton and the USS Delbert D. Black move into position like predators circling prey. Above them, an MQ-9 Reaper drone maps every movement, every deviation, every breath this submarine takes. The order's clear: watch, wait, learn everything. Because losing this target means losing $400 million worth of drugs that will flood into Texas, Florida, Louisiana, and beyond. The Hamilton switches to passive sonar at 3:12 a.m. Every sound in the ocean gets recorded, filtered, analyzed by AI systems designed to hear what humans can't. 6 minutes later, they find it, a low-frequency pulse, 42 hertz, repeating every 18 seconds. That's not a whale. That's not a current. That's a propeller. This thing is alive and moving at 7.4 knots, 62 feet below the surface, invisible to conventional radar. Think about that for a second. While Americans sleep in their beds, a submarine packed with poison is gliding through U.S. waters, undetected by everything except the most advanced military technology on Earth. From the sky, the Reaper's infrared camera paints a ghostly orange trail across the Black Sea, evidence of an engine running full power, desperately trying to reach its destination before dawn. Inside the operations room at Pensacola, 3 agencies converge: U.S. Navy, Coast Guard Intelligence, and the DEA Maritime Task Force. Everyone's watching the same screen. Everyone sees the same nightmare unfolding. Then the data shows something that makes even the veterans pause. The submarine isn't alone. 2 escort boats appear on thermal imaging. Small corvettes running without lights, carrying 25 armed cartel soldiers. They're communicating with the sub through encrypted radio pulses every 11 minutes. And those signals? They're bouncing back from servers in Maracaibo, Venezuela. This isn't just smuggling. This is a military operation coordinated across international borders. At 3:48 a.m., satellite imagery reveals the final piece of the puzzle. 90 nautical miles east, a disguised cargo ship waits. Venezuelan cartel, on course to intercept the submarine. If that sub reaches that ship, 3 tons of methamphetamine worth $400 million disappears into global shipping routes, hidden inside industrial paint cans, car parts, frozen fish containers, gone forever. The mission just changed. This is no longer surveillance. This is a countdown to confrontation. And the clock is ticking. What do you think happens next? Can the Navy actually stop a billion-dollar operation in the middle of the ocean? Drop your prediction in the comments right now. The strike, 3:52 a.m. The narco sub surfaces for exactly 6 seconds, just long enough to dump exhaust, just long enough to be seen. That's all the Navy needs. High above, the MQ-9 Reaper's thermal camera locks on, a 30-foot black shape cutting through waves at 8 knots. Low, fast, desperate. Commander Decker's voice cuts through the encrypted channel. 3 words that change everything.
Execute phase delta.
Everything moves at once. The Hamilton surges forward, hitting 28 knots, spray exploding from its bow as it closes the distance. 4 speedboats launch from the stern, each loaded with 8 heavily armed agents, M4 carbines, MK-48 machine guns, M110 sniper rifles. These aren't police officers making an arrest, these are warriors preparing for battle. Overhead, an MH-60R Seahawk helicopter screams in from the east, its spotlight turning night into day. For one split second, everyone sees it. A dark hull, gliding through the water, spray curling around its tower, a specter that shouldn't exist but does. Then, all hell breaks loose. The battle, 4:01 a.m. The escort boats open fire first. 2 cartel gunmen pop out of portholes, Uzis and AK-103s barking into the night. Tracer rounds slice crimson arcs through the darkness. But the Navy's ready. The Hamilton's 50 caliber guns answer with thunderous bursts that light up the Gulf like lightning strikes. Above, the Seahawk banks hard, its GAU-21 heavy machine gun roaring a mechanical scream that drowns out everything else. One of the escort boats erupts in a fireball. Shrapnel and debris scatter across the waves. Orange flames dance on black water. At 4:07 a.m. the assault boats reach the submarine. 12 agents leap onto the slippery steel hull, boots fighting for grip, helmets gleaming in the chaos. They blow the hatch. Inside, chemical fumes so thick you can taste them. Black industrial bags stacked floor to ceiling. 2,260 pounds of crystal meth. Liquid cocaine sealed in drums. Over $415 million worth of poison destined for American streets, American schools, American families. The firefight lasts 6 brutal minutes. When it's over, 3 smugglers are dead, 5 are zip-tied and dragged topside. 1 American sailor takes shrapnel but refuses to fall back. As the submarine lists, flames crawl across its roof, spreading onto the ocean surface. The Gulf burns orange and gold under a sky that's just beginning to lighten. From the bridge of the Hamilton, Commander Decker speaks into her radio. Her voice is calm, even, decisive.
Target neutralized. Package secured.
The ocean answers with silence, carrying away the last echoes of a billion-dollar empire sinking into dawn. But here's the question nobody's asking yet. What happens when they actually board this thing? What secrets are hiding inside? Let's find out. The Discovery, 5:47 a.m. What looks like a crude steel coffin from a distance turns out to be something far more terrifying up close. This isn't some backyard project welded together by amateurs. This is a $2.8 million custom-built narco submarine, handcrafted in a jungle workshop somewhere along Colombia's Pacific coast. And it's a masterpiece of criminal engineering. The entire hull is coated with radar-absorbing paint, the same polymer technology used on military stealth drones. Every bolt is wrapped in carbon tape to mute sonar echoes. This machine wasn't improvised. It was designed by people who understand exactly how to beat American detection systems. Navy divers enter through the cracked hatch at 5:47 a.m. The smell hits first. Fuel, salt, burnt chemicals. Inside the control bay, there are no fancy digital displays, just 3 Soviet-era gauges, a compass, and a makeshift throttle that looks like it belongs in a museum. But beneath the floorboards, investigators find something that stops them cold. A lithium-ion battery array weighing nearly 2,000 pounds. Enough power to run this submarine for 600 nautical miles without ever surfacing. Each cell stamped with Chinese markings. Shenzhen Dynamics Corporation. They keep digging. Behind a false wall, the cargo chamber. Steel drums strapped down with nylon belts, still warm from the explosions. Forensics confirms it. 2,240 pounds of methamphetamine, 480 liters of cocaine base, total street value, $417 million, enough to supply 8.5 million doses. That's the entire population of New York City. But the real horror is in the engine compartment. A black box labeled NAV02 wired directly into the control system. A homemade autopilot module connected to an encrypted satellite uplink. When technicians crack it open and pull the coordinates, they find something that changes everything. 2 previous routes, Venezuela to Florida, both completed in September. This isn't the first mission, it's the third, and that means at least 2 other shipments already made it through, already disappeared into American cities, already poisoning American communities. By 6 a.m., the crew of the Hamilton stands in stunned silence. This submarine isn't a fluke, it's a prototype. Intelligence analysts estimate at least 12 identical vessels are already in production. 12 submarines, each capable of carrying 3 tons of drugs across the Caribbean completely undetected. When the hatch finally seals shut, one truth becomes inescapable. This isn't a smuggler's boat. This is a weapon system. A billion-dollar fleet disguised as shadows, built for a war that most Americans don't even know is happening. The aftermath. Incidents Attenmatur. 8:10 a.m., October 12, 2025. The sun rises over Pensacola Naval Air Station like nothing happened, but everyone in that operations hangar knows better. The air still carries the smell of diesel and burnt salt. The captured narco sub, half submerged and listing, is chained to the Hamilton stern. Silent proof that something crawled through American waters last night. The debrief hits like a hammer. 1 submarine destroyed, 2,260 pounds of narcotics seized. Street value, $415 million. 3 cartel members dead, 5 in custody, 1 American sailor wounded but standing, but nobody's celebrating, because when technicians examine the sub's encrypted navigation system, they uncover 3 complete route logs. 3 different entry points along the Gulf Coast, Tampa Bay, Mobile, New Orleans. 1 log dated September 22nd shows a previous mission that succeeded undetected. If the data's accurate, at least 3 tons of drugs already slipped through. By 9:15 a.m., the DEA, Naval Intelligence and Homeland Security convene an emergency briefing. Satellite analysis reveals a disturbing pattern. 12 identical narco submarines launched from hidden docks near Puerto La Cruz, Venezuela, protected by cartel branches backed by corrupt military officers. Each vessel costs about $3 million to build, powered by commercial-grade lithium batteries smuggled through China. Together, this network can move up to 40 tons of narcotics per year. That's a $5 billion pipeline crossing the Caribbean. Commander Decker stares at the wreckage photo on the projection screen. The charred submarine, its hull cracked open like shattered bone.
This isn't smuggling anymore, it's an arms race, and it's happening underwater.
That afternoon, the Navy raises alert levels across the entire Gulf. Patrol flights double. Coast Guard cutters reposition along every major shipping route. Civilian vessels get warnings to report any low-profile craft within 200 nautical miles of U.S. shores. But even with this victory, nobody on the Hamilton feels relieved, because every sailor there understands the brutal math. For every narco sub caught, another is already being built, and beneath the calm blue surface of the Gulf, the next one is already on its way. The truth, October 13th, 2025. By the next morning, the Gulf looks peaceful again. Soft waves under a pale orange sky. Sea breeze carrying nothing but salt and morning light. The perfect illusion, because beneath that surface lies the wreckage of a narco submarine in 60 feet of water, guarded by Navy divers still collecting evidence. From above, it looks like a small shadow on the seabed, but what it represents is massive. A $415 million shipment, a link in a network worth billions. Proof the cartels aren't just smugglers anymore, they're engineers, strategists, financiers of a new kind of war. In Washington, analysts brief Congress for the first time about something called the Narco Submarine Threat Corridor. Plans get drawn to fund new surveillance grids across the Gulf. More drones, more sonar stations, more patrols. But every expert in those meetings knows the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Technology can only delay what's already coming. For the sailors of the USCGC Hamilton, this victory tastes hollow. 1 wounded, 5 prisoners, 3 dead. And a question nobody can answer. How many more are out there? How many nights will end the same way, with fire on the water and silence at dawn? As the ship turns back toward port, Commander Rachel Decker stands on the bridge watching the horizon. The sea is calm again, almost too calm. She lowers her radio and speaks quietly, not to her crew, but to the ocean itself.
Let them come. We'll be waiting.
The waves answer in silence, carrying her words into the deep. Here's what you need to understand. This story isn't over, it's just beginning. Every day, submarines like this are being built. Every night, they're crossing into American waters. And every morning, we wake up pretending it's not happening. If you believe America's strength must never be silenced, if you believe these stories deserve to be told, then do something about it right now. Like this video, share it with everyone you know, subscribe to this channel, because only together can we keep shining light into the darkness. Your voice matters. Use it.